metallic love. Their signatures finalized the long divorce procedure. He swore to himself that he would not get emotionally attached to another woman ever again. He was an astrophysicist, a fully tenured professor at the School of Natural Sciences and Mathematics in Skopje. His colleagues described him as a quiet man who dedicated his entire life to science. Socializing was not his strong suit. He knew exactly where his interests lay and remained focused on his goals. After the separation, he spent all his time in the lab, searching for the source of pure love. He made mixtures of vitamins and minerals and experimented on himself. For the mixture to achieve maximum effect, his diet consisted of only 2 cans of Greek yogurt a day. His studies showed that yogurt alone contained a bacterium, which eliminated all other bacteria in the human body. He allotted a month-long trial period for every new mixture to fine-tune the dosage and become acquainted with its effects. Consumption brought about an almost immediate sensation of happiness, but the feeling was short-lived and produced sorrow as a side effect. At times, happiness swiftly turned into possessiveness. Nearly every attempt resulted in a deep depression, and thus the number of experiments decreased. One promising mixture consisted of pure endorphin, vitamin B12, and 2,000 milligrams of vitamin D3. Adjusting the dose to 10 milliliters a day resulted in the creation of pure love. After a month-long treatment with the potion, he felt nothing but love. He built a robot of metals with a high pH value, sensitive to acids. Instead of a heart, he installed a rectangular battery with a capacity of 10 milliliters, sufficient to make the robot truly love for a day. In case he neglected to refill the battery, the robot imitated his mood, condensing a liquid of neutral pH value in order to survive. The robot had no verbal abilities, but he attached a chip to its throat, and with the aid of a computer, it lent a human-sounding voice to its every thought. He made the robot 5 feet 10 inches tall, just like him, weighing in at 120 pounds, just like him. Although the robot gave him nothing but pure love, after a few months, the metallic surface displeased him. He emailed Klaus Schrader, president of the World Dermatology Institute, a good friend and his roommate from their days at the graduate school in Budapest. Klaus was interested in Adam's idea, and he worked to find a solution to the problem. He created an artificial skin and sent 5 square meters of it to Skopje in big refrigerators. It took Adam 5 years to come up with a way to glue the skin to the metal without tearing it. In addition, he also had to maintain the freshness of the skin in the refrigerators. When he added some melatonin, it turned a darker shade. When he added serotonin, it grew stronger and doubled the rate of regeneration, but became inelastic. Attempts to soften it resulted in flakes, and the robot looked like a reptile. On one occasion, he forgot the love potion refill and the skin began to stink. He noticed that the skin dried because the robot condensed the skin lubricant instead. He studied skin composition daily and managed to implant sebaceous and sweat glands in his creation. When the love potion was half used, he added another 5 milliliters and the regeneration rate increased, improving hydration in turn. His invention of electromotive circulation made the skin cling to the metal perfectly. After 6 years of studies and experiments, he could finally feel soft female skin under his fingers. He named the robot Eva. She desired no nourishment other than what was needed for her skin, as the connection between the dermis and epidermis required fatty tissue. The keratin required no additional maintenance, as it was nourished by the vitamins contained in the love potion. To complete the transformation, he gave Eva a new computer-generated voice, softer and higher in pitch. Now she had lovely black hair and eyebrows, blue eyes, and a full red lip. Her body was slender, her hips wide, and her breasts full. Finally, he felt the freedom of love, the fever of its inception, and its sublime nature. He felt completely liberated around her. Whatever his heart desired, she fulfilled without hesitation. She was attentive to his every fantasy and found ways to make it real. She never argued and was always understanding. When he masturbated in front of her, she accepted it with a smile. She could read his every desire. When she sensed he was moody, she withdrew from sight or commiserated alongside him. When he wallowed in sadness, she wallowed too. When a feigned orgasm was needed, she acted with abandon. She literally bent to his every whim. One day he came out of the bathroom with his pants down. "Tell me about your other lovers." She was silent. He summoned her to the toilet and pressed her head deep in the ceramic bowl. She did not resist or contravene. When he regained his composure a few minutes later, he kissed her and begged forgiveness. He would often get drunk and dance with her for hours, and she never tired of twirling around or listening to his ruminations on life. One night, when he had one too many, he slapped her. She hardly flinched and still gave him all her love. Somehow, her impassive nature began to suffocate him. One evening, drunk, He ordered that she enter the car and drove her to the bridge, a spot where prostitutes converged. He put a wad of bills in one girl's hand and pointed to the back seat. They drove 100 yards down the road. While he penetrated the prostitute, he told her to observe their act from outside. "Now eat her pussy." She complied and kneeled below the prostitute. He felt a giddy warmth, but then got up and pushed her away. He cut her face with a broken beer bottle and the metal gleamed from beneath. The terrified prostitute ran away. He stayed by her side, weeping all through the night. The next day, he made another batch of skin and managed to cure his loved one. The robot was grateful for it all. When the academic year began, he installed closed-circuit cameras in the lab and followed her every move on his smartphone. She did nothing all day but sit. One day, he cut the class short, apologized to the students, and quickly left the classroom. He went to his lab. She was sitting in the corner, a tiny mouse in her hands. "What is this thing, dear?" "It's a rat," he snapped back. "Can I keep it?" He found a large empty aquarium and they kept it there. She gave it constant attention and all her energy. After a while, her dedication to another creature began to rankle with him. "You don't love me like you used to." "That's not true. You're besotted with that rat." "I have love for everybody. For everybody. I knew you were just like her. You're all the same." The moment overwhelmed him, and grabbing a nearby scalpel, he slayed the mouse and then himself. She leaned against him and caressed him gently. The situation confounded her. The police arrived several days later. They pried her away from his body. He seemed drained, as if he had no skin left. The inspector took her in for questioning. "Tell me all about the murder." She was upset, had no answer to give him. She sensed his aggression and reflected his energy back at him. "You killed him." "Yes, I killed him." "Why?" "You tell me." "Because he was rich." "Because he was rich." They put her in the female section of the prison. She shared a cell with Lena. Lying in bed that night, she stared at the wall. She suddenly sensed Lena's touch on her buttocks. She reflected her passion. Her hips moved. Lena fell in love with her, and she gave her all her love. One day, during the scheduled showers, a girl slipped into her cabin. Lena pushed her away. A sense of enmity filled the small, closed-off space. The robot charged at the attacker and killed the girl. She was put in a solitary confinement cell. There was nothing to feed her skin, and she dried up completely. A week later, they found her lifeless metallic skeleton.